Hello and welcome to another 5-minute webinar. I'm your host, Adam Jolly. Please be sure to tweet your questions and comments to #5minutes. Our presenter today is Gerald Kraft. Gerald, what is your big idea?
Well, Adam, my big idea today is how to repair rubber boots. The reason being is because when you're outside, you're going to be much more comfortable when your feet are dry. In addition, rubber boots are extremely expensive, so it's a good idea to keep that investment around for a while. It's pretty easy to fix the little holes in your rubber boots, so today we're going to talk about how you do that. So the very first thing we need to do is, you have water coming into your boots, so we need to identify where is that water entering the boot. So we need to find the hole or the leak. There's a couple different ways we can find that. The first thing is to do is just fill that boot with water and see if you see water leaking on the outside of the boot. Another thing you can do is you can fill a spray bottle with rubbing alcohol. All you have to do is just spray the rubbing alcohol on the boot and then just take a look. What you'll notice is where the hole is, the alcohol will evaporate much quicker, leaving a dark spot onto the boot. So again, fill the bottle with rubbing alcohol, spray the outside of the boot, and then just look for those dark spots. And wherever you find dark spots, that's a pretty good sign that there's a leak there or a hole. So now that we've located that leak, the first thing we need to do is really abrade that surface, roughen that surface. By abrading the surface, we're guaranteed to get a much better bond with the adhesive that we use. A good rule of thumb is just to use a fine grit sandpaper, something in the 120 to 200 range. And like I said, we're just going to get right over that damaged area and just lightly roughen the surface. And that's just going to prep that surface for the adhesive once we've roughened it a bit. After we've roughened that surface, what we'll need to do is we'll need to clean it with rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is really nice. It's going to get rid of any oil or grease, anything that's really going to prevent a good bond with the adhesive. So with that, it's pretty simple. You're just going to put some rubbing alcohol onto a clean rag and then just go ahead and give that area a nice good cleaning. Once you've roughened the surface and you've cleaned it with the rubbing alcohol, now it's a good idea to just go ahead and mask off that area. Usually these adhesives are permanent, and so what we don't want is for the adhesive to get anywhere where it shouldn't. In addition, if you're working with a hole, say, larger than the size of a pencil eraser, it's a good idea to create a backing. So to prevent that adhesive from leaking through the hole and getting onto the opposite side of the boot, it's a good idea that we put a piece of masking tape on the inside of the boot. And what that'll do is that'll create a backing or a dam, preventing the adhesive from going through. Again, you're only going to need to do that with holes, say, larger than the size of a pencil eraser. So now that we've got that area prepped and cleaned and masked, all we need to do now is apply the adhesive. We recommend a urethane adhesive. The reason being is because urethanes are highly flexible. So what's going to happen is that's going to flex with the material. In addition, you need something that's going to be permanent and waterproof. So Freesole is definitely the way to go. What you want to do is avoid thermoplastics. What they do is they tend to get hard and brittle with time, and they'll just crack. Whereas a Freesole, a urethane repair adhesive, is always going to stay flexible. So basically all you need to do is just paint a nice thin layer of adhesive right over your damaged area and give it about 12 hours to cure. Once it's cured, you should really be good to go. So again, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and allow that rubber boot to dry flat and untouched for about 12 hours. And then once we've done that, the repair should be done. The nice thing about Freesole is there is a black option, which allows you to mix a little bit of black coloring in there to create a black patch as opposed to a clear patch. So if you have black boots, we recommend doing the black Freesole adhesive. And that's a wrap. The reason we're doing that is because, again, we don't want to get our feet wet. When our feet get wet, they get cold, and when we're cold, we're not having a good time outside. The other thing is rubber boots are really expensive. It's a couple $100 for a good pair of rubber boots, so don't let a small hole ruin that investment. You can make a pretty easy fix with just a small tube of glue.
All right. Excellent. So that's all we have for today. Again, please be sure to tweet your questions and comments to #5minutes. Gerald, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Adam.